Okay, it is the weekend, which means my kids are all home and I can't find a quiet place to make a video. But I wanted to today, and usually I don't make videos on Sunday, but I wanted to today because it's Groundhog Day. And those of you that have seen the movie Groundhog Day will know what I'm talking about in this video. So when you have an eating disorder, oftentimes people will refer to their lives as feeling like a Groundhog Day. And that is because it basically does feel like a Groundhog Day. Every single day, you do the exact same thing. You wake up, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And breaking that routine is terrifying. And so when we're trying to recover from an eating disorder, we have to break that routine, right? And that's uncomfortable. People don't like it. What I find people will sometimes fall into, because we want to latch onto something, right? If we're gonna break this routine, then we gotta develop a new routine. And the problem with that is then we're creating new rules. So even if you're in your recovery and you're eating unrestrictedly, and you're doing your best to stop with you're committed to not moving anymore and stopping exercise, you can start creating routines around recovery, believe it or not. So it's like, okay, let myself have brownies, and I let myself eat them, but only at 9 o'clock at night. And then this is this new rule: every single night at 9 o'clock, I let myself eat as many brownies as I want. And I can eat breakfast, but it's only at this time, and then I'm used to eating the same food for breakfast. Terrifying, it's still a fear food, and it's a lot more than I was eating before because I'm in recovery, but it's still very, very structured OCD kind of behavior that we're creating around it. And so we want to be careful when we're in recovery that we don't churn a Groundhog Day of restriction, right, and compulsive movement to a Groundhog Day of like eating a lot more food, which is awesome, right? But that can also turn into like a ritualistic routine that we don't want to do. So I felt like one of the hardest parts of recovering was having to drop all routines. Like, I am a person who naturally will cling on to structure and liking kind of to know what to expect every single day. However, when I recovered, in my recovery, I had to break that, and I had to be like, okay, so yes, I love this new food and it's scary and it's fun that I'm challenging it, but it can't become this thing that I have to eat every single day at this time. So it's tricky, it's confusing, and in no way am I saying in your recovery you shouldn't let yourself eat, if you want such and such every day, that you shouldn't be able to eat that every day. Just be mindful that you're not turning it into like an OCD behavior. So I can eat ice cream, but it has to be Haagen-Dazs and it has to be this flavor. Or I can eat cake, but only from that one bakery, and this is the only, like, this amount I'm letting myself eat. Turns into more rules. And this video is sort of similar to one I've done in the past called whack-a-mole with your eating disorder. So you break a rule, then another one pops up. And our brains just will work that way because they're so used to just feeling like they can hold on to something that they know. And being recovered, not just in recovery, but being recovered is, every day looks different. Every day now is different. Most of my meals are different from day to day. Like, sometimes I'll have something, and it'll be left over for a few days, so I have that for lunch, but it's not this like, I have to have that every single day now. I have to recreate the same thing because that worked and I felt okay doing that, and I know I survived and lived through it. It doesn't feel like that anymore. I don't have like set times I have to eat this at this time and this at this time. So it doesn't, like, the beauty of recovery, basically very long-winded way of saying, like, it doesn't feel like Groundhog Day. It feels like every day can bring me something different, and I'm okay with that. I can roll with the punches. I can be spontaneous. I can not plan ahead, and it doesn't really matter. And so I just thought this video would be appropriate, since it's Groundhog Day today, to kind of point out and have you think about where you're at in your recovery, and if you are creating new Groundhog Days that, again, may be better than your old ones, but we don't really want to fall into feeling like we have to do the same thing every day. So hope that video was clear, and I hope you have a fantastic afternoon. Thanks. Bye.